Frantz Fanon once said, "Each generation must discover its mission, fulfill it or betray it in relative opacity." A statement that still holds relevance in the world we live in today. But who was this man who dared to challenge the status quo with such audacity? Frantz Fanon, the son of Martinique, was born on July 20th, 1925. His upbringing on the Caribbean island, then a French colony, exposed him to the harsh realities of colonial rule. This early exposure would later shape his path towards becoming a revolutionary thinker. His thirst for knowledge led him to France, where he pursued studies in medicine, specializing in psychiatry. World War II had a profound impact on him, as it did to many of his generation. He witnessed the horrors of war, the human capacity for destruction, experiences that would shape his understanding of the human condition. Upon completing his studies, he found himself drawn to Algeria, a nation embroiled in a bloody war for independence from France. His work as a psychiatrist in Algeria exposed him to the psychological impacts of war and colonialism. These experiences led him to write his first major work, Black Skin, White Masks. In it, Fanon explored the psychological damage inflicted by colonialism on the colonized. He delved into the self-hatred, alienation and identity crises experienced by black people in a white-dominated world. Fanon's exploration of these themes was not purely academic. He believed in the power of action, in the necessity of challenging oppressive systems. His experiences in Algeria and his studies in psychiatry led him to develop a revolutionary praxis, a theory of action aimed at overthrowing colonial rule. Fanon's experiences and studies laid the foundation for his revolutionary praxis, which would shape his later works and forever mark him as a controversial figure in the annals of history. Fanon's most influential work, The Wretched of the Earth, is a profound examination of the violence inherent in the colonial condition. This book, penned in the heat of the Algerian Revolution, serves as a philosophical and psychological analysis of the dehumanizing effects of colonization. Fanon, a psychiatrist by profession, saw the colonial world as a divided world. The native and the settler, he argued, exist in separate spaces, and the violence of the colonial regime has a profound impact on the psyche of the colonized. He posited that the only way to mend this broken psyche and restore dignity to the colonized is through violent resistance. In The Wretched of the Earth, Fanon made a passionate case for the necessity of violence in the struggle for decolonization. He argued that violence purges the colonized of their inferiority complex, of their passive and despairing attitude. It emboldens them, makes them fearless, and awakens a sense of self-worth. However, this advocacy for violence was not without controversy. Critics argue that Fanon's endorsement of violence is problematic, suggesting that it could lead to an endless cycle of bloodshed. They contend that peaceful means of resistance should be given precedence over violent struggle. Nevertheless, Fanon's belief that colonialism is inherently violent was grounded in his experiences and observations. He argued that the very act of colonization involves violence, and thus the colonized have the right, even the duty, to resist it violently. The controversial nature of Fanon's work did not end with his untimely death. Today, in the month of May in the year 2024, his ideas continue to provoke heated debates. Some view him as a prophet of anti-colonial and anti-racist struggles, while others see him as a promoter of violence. Fanon's revolutionary praxis in The Wretched of the Earth continues to stir debates among scholars, political philosophers and activists alike. His ideas, controversial as they may be, have left an indelible mark on political philosophy and continue to shape our understanding of colonialism and resistance. Despite his early death, Fanon's ideas continue to resonate in the global discourse on colonialism, racism and resistance. Even in our present year, his contributions to political philosophy remain relevant and influential. Fanon's writings, particularly The Wretched of the Earth, are considered seminal works in post-colonial studies. His exploration of the psychological impact of colonization, his critique of the West's racial and cultural superiority, and his call for a decolonized world have shaped much of the discourse on these subjects. His influence extends beyond academia and into the realm of activism. Movements like Black Lives Matter, which advocates for the rights of black individuals and fights against systemic racism, have drawn from Fanon's ideas. His call for the colonized to reclaim their humanity, dignity and identity resonates with those who seek to challenge and dismantle systems of oppression. Furthermore, Fanon's advocacy of violence as a means of decolonization continues to spark debates. Some argue that his ideas are a call to arms, a justification for violent resistance against oppressive regimes. Others, however, view his advocacy of violence as a metaphor for the radical, systemic change necessary to dismantle the structures of colonialism and racism. In this context, the question of the applicability of Fanon's ideas to modern struggles against oppression and injustice is a topic of ongoing discussion. Are his ideas a blueprint for revolution, or a philosophical framework to understand and challenge the systems that perpetuate inequality and injustice? This is a question that each of us must grapple with as we navigate the complexities of our world. Fanon's revolutionary praxis, while controversial, remains a powerful testament to the enduring struggle against colonialism and racism. His legacy continues to inspire, challenge and provoke us to question the status quo and envision a world free from the shackles of oppression. Frantz Fanon's life and works continue to provoke thought and debate in our present day. We've journeyed through his revolutionary praxis, explored the controversy stirred by his advocacy of violence in The Wretched of the Earth, and explored the modern relevance of his contributions to political philosophy. Each turn in this exploration has revealed a facet of Fanon that sparks introspection and, indeed, conversation. His short life, marked by the fierce battle against cancer of the blood, leukemia, was a testament to the power of conviction, the force of ideas, and the indomitable spirit of the human will. Frantz Fanon, long after his death, remains a beacon, a touchstone, and a call to question, to challenge and to seek a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world we inhabit. We want to thank you once again for joining us for another episode of Philosophical Flicks. We can't express how much we appreciate your support within the philosophical community and joining us in these journeys down memory lane. So we bid you farewell and adieu for now. And until we meet again, take care of yourselves and each other.